Good morning. Today, I did the reading at 7:09 a.m. using the Brady Tarot. Today is February 17th, 2025, and it is Moon Day, Monday. The beads of the day today are lapis lazuli for clarity, rose quartz for love and connection, amethyst for healing, moonstone for release, and clear quartz for balance. And what do we get? Well, our numerology today is very interesting, as well as the astrology, as it always seems to be really spot on. So we get an 11 for the amount, for the actual time of the day, which means that this reading is going to focus on something that's civic and about the public, and a very obvious something that has taken place. The number two, how partnership or what has happened across the pond, somebody has done something. Eight, the solidness of it, and how we must now step into retreat. So what do we have? We have the One of Horns, water. The waning gibbous moon right now is requiring that we be reflective and observing with a twinge of release, because, well, what control do we truly have? And then our Four of Feathers is relating to air, and then two major arcanas are going to be the Wheel of Fortune and the Justice card, relating to Libra, the third decan, and Jupiter. This is fascinating because Jupiter's in detriment right now. So I suspect in 2025, when Jupiter is no longer in Gemini, but rather in Cancer, we will see some accountability starting to really unfold. I think that there are some people who might be in a little bit of trouble. So let's go ahead and talk about what is happening in these two cards. As you can see here, we have an American coot. This is a type of bird that just basically runs across the water without any seeming consequence. And we are witnessing someone who seems to have the ability to do things that really aren't supposed to be possible. And so, as we're observing this, you can see up on the top of the cornucopia of water is a bluebird perched on the horn, reminding those of us that the bluebird, those who have been harmed, being more or less targeted as the deep state, they've been set aside. You can see this, but on top of the horn of plenty. So I think that what is happening here is there's great sadness. Many have been harmed, many unemployed now. And our four says that the coot that's walking on water, sun in Aquarius in the 11th, reminding us that we have gifts as they attempt their shock and awe campaign on us. This will be difficult to recover from, and we will never be the same again. But what we are learning will properly adjust our levels of trust and to whom we trust and why. The layoffs, highly disruptive. They will lead to new opportunities for those who are in this position. The grief and frustration certainly is palpable at this time. But our cards today suggest that this is political warfare. To assist those acting within our community in a criminal way, using our data at great human cost with no transparency, this will lead to proper reforms and much needed reforms. Because if you think your data has been safe up to this point, I very much doubt it. I think that this is a very big and prominent issue. All we have to do is look back to Snowden, and he's talked about it. The law has been thrown out at this time. Those believing they're above the law, the Four of Swords says otherwise. To think that for every 4 people that they let go, that only 1 will be hired in its place. A formula that creates sloppy work with many errors and a kind of folding and giving the work to the employees to a point of the work being a pressure cooker, keeping up extremely difficult. And I can tell you that during the times that we were in federal service, this is exactly what we experienced. More and more and more responsibilities. The money slated to the states that this Robin Hood control system is looking to control will have severe and multifaceted things coming. And for those of you who think this is Robin Hood and you're in glee, I think you better stop it, because pride cometh before the fall, and you're about to feel it. Those of us who have been going through this for some period of time, who understand the darkness that has been visited upon us as the scapegoats, you will soon find yourself having the bags of shit hang from your neck and being sent out to the desert to smell the shit of the billionaire while taking away what they considered their perceived problems. This is over, people. This is over. And what do we have? Well, why do I know this? This 4 of feathers, this air, it relates to the wheel of fortune and justice. Libra, the 3rd decan, Jupiter. And so when Jupiter leaves Gemini, where it has been in detriment, and heads into Cancer, we're going to see the widening of the gyra, okay? And the power of water. They can't stop it. That's why they're acting this way. They're acting like prairie dogs, celebrating in a practice called jump yipping, believing the sun and all of its goodness belongs to them and them only. They're loaded with optimism, wanting to party while others suffer. But you have to ask yourself, well, where are they coming from? Well, they're in fear. They're in fear for tomorrow. As many go without jobs and now need to navigate other programs to get unemployment, I suspect this will lead to issues as well, because unfortunately for these people, unemployment also comes with federal funding that likely isn't going to be available due to what is unfolding, the desire to get rid of any and all financial responsibility to us that we've paid into. They say that they are attempting to get rid of bureaucratic inefficiency or drain the swamp, reducing government due to a belief of partisan division. Civil servants, I am going to tell you, do not do their job based upon politics. That is not how it works. They are employees. They punch a time clock. They follow their supervisor's directions, period. Anyone thinking anything different hasn't worked there and does not understand the workload. And that's fine. Right now, what we are experiencing is blame, so 803 billionaires can have a tax cut. Scapegoating at its finest, polarizing views. Many workers now in disbelief as they have children to feed, mortgages to make. There is a massive erosion. And those, additionally, who accepted resignation offers were fired before the execution of the agreement. And you have to ask yourself, what is this trickery? All of this is going to have a crippling effect with massive legal implications. Doge and this appointment is illegal on every level. He was in legal trouble before this appointment. Do keep this in mind. And is likely using this appointment as a distraction to keep from accountability due to a bit of a failure to disclose some stocks in 2022, leading to a disgorgement case that will likely have massive civil penalties involved in it. The state-by-state response to all of this is likely going to be massive rebellion, things that we haven't ever seen. So I suspect that it would be difficult for me to exactly say what I see coming. The concentration of wealth will lead all of us to massive backlash. Those who join in, and I suspect that we are going to start to see by the point where Jupiter goes into Cancer, even the people who voted for him will start to say, no, thank you. So what do we have here? Well, I suspect we are going to see some really big healing coming in and support incoming for those who have been harmed. And although this is incredibly painful, in good time, a lawsuit, many lawsuits will take place. And those of us who've been harmed will be repaired. And myself, I'm actually happy to see this because since 2016, and even sometime before that, some of the degradations that we've experienced in service to the federal government have been shameful. Being at one of our kids' games and being told, what are you effing lazy effers doing here? Why don't you go sit at your lazy effing desk? Right in the schoolhouse, okay? And this has been typical of the life we've been living and why we left the community we were in. We couldn't take it anymore. We were so tired of the public shaming while attempting to be of service to the community. So here you go. We are here now, and this reading, this bluebird up here, suggests in every way with this card here that justice is coming for us, but we must be patient. Please do like, share, and subscribe. And thank you so much for being here with me today.